Oh man, Christmas is coming and I'm so excited today, guys. I really love live streaming. It really lets me connect with my viewers, so I'm gonna do a lot more live streaming along with the professionally shot videos, so don't worry about that. But these next couple weeks, especially in the next 2 weeks, I'm getting a ton of new equipment. I just don't know where to begin. So first things first, I had to mail back my MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. Don't worry, I'm getting a brand new one. It's not like I returned it or anything, but the USB-C ports on my MacBook started getting loose. So I would hook up my hard drives to the computer and then they would slowly like wiggle out and I would lose connection to my hard drive. So that's really, really dangerous for saving data and stuff like that. So I couldn't work with that computer. You know, 2 ports were extremely loose, so I had to ship it back. So now I'm waiting on Apple, who has already delayed my order twice on my new MacBook Pro that's supposed to come in. So I'm using my old MacBook. Thank God I didn't sell it yet because it was already on the market and I had to take it down because of the delay. So I need something to edit on. But that was a really big disappointment. If Apple's watching, I hope that you guys fix that issue because I know it's the Christmas season and holiday season and all that stuff, but like, you gave me a deadline, you promised it, and now you're lagging on it. But anyway, enough with the negative stuff. I'm still gonna get the computer back. I still love Apple. Stuff happens. I'm understandable. So let's keep going with this video, with this live stream. All right, let me make sure everything is working here. Cool. All right, so today I got something cool. I got a new slider from Coolertron. A lot of people have been emailing me about sliders, and this is my 3rd slider. My 4th one is coming in later this week, and it's gonna be a time-lapse slider. So it's gonna be a mechanical slider. This is something I don't have in my arsenal, but it's something I've always wanted. And this company that's sending me the slider, they're based in Poland, and so it's very, very exciting to see a Polish-made slider. I think that's fantastic because I already know that China does great stuff. I mean, this is a Chinese slider. I have 2 more Chinese sliders in my room. I have a Chinese Steadicam. It's all fantastic. But I also want to see other countries' products as well. So this is Poland, and I'm very excited to see what they're sending me. It's very complicated what they're sending me. So it's not just a mechanical slider that mechanically moves side to side. It also does tilts and pans, and it comes with 3 different motors. It comes with a controller, otherwise known as a computer that controls these movements, and a shutter release cable that hooks up to your camera, and it's all timed out perfectly so you can get beautiful animated time lapses, dynamic time lapses. And it also does automated pans and tilts. Like, let's say you're showing off a product. Like if I were doing another review video for a drone, I would use it to showcase a drone by making it, setting it so that the camera is moving dynamically around the drone. So like, it really opens up to a whole different realm of filmmaking. And I can't wait to show you guys this. It's coming in from Poland, should be here this week. Hopefully not next week. I would love to have it this week so I can get started on filming the review. But anyway, let's talk about Coolertron. So Coolertron is I haven't heard about this company. They sent me this slider to review. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I usually shoot with longer sliders. For me, this is a little bit too small, but it is very compact. You can literally put it in your backpack and take it with you. So remember, when you're shooting with a short slider like this, I like to shoot with a wide-angle lens. That way we can see more of the movement. When you're using like a 48-inch slider, which is 4 feet, you can use a narrower lens because the slider is longer, so you'll be able to see distance slightly better on a telephoto lens on a longer slider. This one, not so much, because it's a very short distance of a slider. So I would stick to a wide angle for this. So here it is. Unlike other sliders, this slider has no bearings. There are no bearings on this slider. Basically, we have an aluminum slider, right? And we have an aluminum carriage. So this is where we mount our camera. And obviously, I like to put a ball head on here. Ball heads are very, very important. That way we can tilt and pan the camera the way we want it to. Here's the undercarriage. So there are no bearings in here. It looks like they have like little slippy plastic parts in there that help guide the slider. So, you know, I used it a few times. It's pretty smooth. I wonder if I put some grease on the slider, if that will help out with making it even smoother. Also, what I like is that 95% of the slider is aluminum. The only plastic piece I see here is probably the bubble level and the little sliding things here. The guides, I like to call them. So these plastic guides here that actually are responsible for making the slider work. So literally just got it. I still need to install stuff. It also has a mounting plate for your phone. So I'm really happy that Coolertron sent me a phone clamp, because I haven't had one before. That's why I'm talking to you like this without holding the phone. They gave me a phone clamp too, which actually screws on to the carriage here, which I think is awesome. Thank you, Coolertron, for doing that. So when I shoot my professional review video of this slider, I'm going to be showing you how it looks like on the phone, on the iPhone, and compare it with the other cameras I have. So that's pretty neat. So I thought that I might do like somewhat of an unboxing, a live unboxing video of this slider. I haven't built it yet, so first let's put the carriage on. Just slide it on like this. Pretty simple, just like any other slider. And you can tighten it with this tensioner in the back here. Again, it's all aluminum, guys. It's all aluminum. All right. We have the feet here. Okay, it looks like we need to put some pegs on it, so that way it'll stand. So let's get that out. Okay, this is very similar to other sliders, so this is nothing new. But I do like how this is the most compact slider I've used. It's the smallest one I've used. So maybe I'm just gonna use it with my iPhone whenever I'm out and about. You know, I'll have some sort of film gear in my car at all times, and this is very compact, so I'm probably just gonna leave this in my car all the time. I'm probably never ever gonna, you know, unpack it from my car unless I'm shooting. So I'm gonna install this. Let's see how this works here. Okay, that's how it goes on. Pretty simple. So it just clamps on just like that. Let me tilt the camera down so you guys see what I'm doing. Tilt it down just so you see what's going on here. Cool. Alright, so put this in there. Comes with a few tools as well. Some screws. Little tiny screws here. Pretty simple. I mean, this is very basic stuff. Oh, nice. It comes with a little adapter here. Little screw adapter. Goes on here, and it allows you to mount bigger. It allows you to mount with bigger screws, so that's kind of cool. All right, so let me just attach this here. So this new slider I'm getting from this company in Poland called Varanus or Varanus. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's going to be a great great thing. I'm pretty excited about it. Hang on one second. I'm trying to figure out why it's not. Oh, it goes from underneath. Got it. So it goes from underneath. And if you have any questions on like what I recommend for beginner filmmakers, let me know, because this is definitely a slider you should start off with. I believe it's around 50 bucks on Amazon. Very good price. For this kind of quality, guys, like I'm surprised how they're able to produce this type of stuff, because this stuff is not, I'm pretty sure this stuff is not as cheap as we think it is to produce. I mean, I think I don't know how aluminum can be this cheap. It's so well polished and it's very well manufactured. You know, from an engineering standpoint, this is good quality stuff. This is not something like that you can break or bend easily. And that's very rare to find in the filmmaking industry. Because a lot of stuff you can break, especially sliders. My Studio FX slider is built very well, but I feel like there are a few weak points that they could have enhanced. Like on the carriage, I feel like the carriage is not the best that it could have been. Like the Coolertron carriage it's thick, it's wide, and it helps me build confidence when I put my, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 camera on here. I mean, it's pretty, you know, you're gonna be, oh, this slider doesn't allow you to do vertical boom shots, but that's okay. We'll talk about that in the review. Basically, on my Studio FX slider and on my Lang slider, you have they basically let you mount the slider vertically, and that will allow you to use the slider as a jib, or like, so you can make booming shots. So they gave me, it looks like, one extra screw, which is nice. I like extra screws. They sent me this thing. I don't know what this is for. It might be a stopper. We'll figure that out in a bit. Okay. That goes in there. That goes in there. And I'm going to take my iPhone and I'm going to give you guys a little demonstration of how the slider works with the iPhone. So that'll be kind of cool. I love Allen wrenches more than any other tool, because I feel like you can really torque up screws with an Allen wrench really well. And you won't need to do this every single time you set up. I'm just going to leave these feet on here forever. I'm never going to take them off. All right, now I'm going to grab my computer. I want to make sure you guys are asking questions. Give me one sec. I'll be right back. Using my old MacBook Pro Retina, so. Alright. So guys, this is your time to ask me questions. Again, I'm doing this for you, so you guys see what kind of filmmaking gear I use. Alright, very important that you ask questions, because when I was learning, and I still am learning, I always ask questions. Always, 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 always. I'm just going to log into my YouTube and see how the stream is going. Okay. Sweet. All right, so let's keep installing stuff. Okay. All right, so we have the rubber pegs on here. So this is gonna go like this, obviously. And these really allow for fine-tune adjustments on the slider, just so you can make everything nice and even. Jinwoo is asking, are you using DJI Go 4 on your Mavic? I have the app and can't seem to adjust settings, style, decrease sharpness. Yeah, I am using DJI Go 4. We'll talk about that in a second. Let me put the slider together and I'm going to bring out the Mavic and we'll go over some troubleshooting tips, alright? Does that sound good? Don't worry, man. I got some free time, about an hour or so, so let's keep live streaming until I answer everyone's questions, all right? So now let's do this side. Nice aluminum pegs and nice aluminum feet. Like, I really like this quality, and there's not one bit of it that I think is cheap. It's all aluminum. It's all metal. Alright, let's flip it over and let's install these nuts to tighten up the screws. So Jinwoo, I don't know when you tuned into this live stream. You're asking any way to easily mount some type of motor on it so it slides by itself. That would be cool. I'm actually getting a slider the next few days. A Polish company is sending me a slider to review. It is a time-lapse motorized slider, so you're gonna see all that. Sliders like this small, they don't usually come with a motor. But I am getting a slider that is a lot wider, a lot bigger, and it has a whole mechanical setup to it. So yes, if you stay tuned on my channel later this week or early next week, I'll do a live stream with that as well, because every filmmaker, it's just as important as having a drone. I feel like everyone needs to have some sort of slider, whether it's mechanical or just hand-operated. Sliders are game changers when it comes to getting dynamic and cinematic shots. So right now I'm just adjusting the pegs to make sure that the slider's leveled. Okay. Wow, look at that. That is sturdy. And you know, when I slide, it doesn't feel loose, you know? It gives me this nice confidence to everything. Okay. All right, now we have two inputs here, two screw inputs here. Let's see what's supposed to go in there. I'm not entirely sure. I would have really loved to see some instructions on this slider because they would have told me what goes in here, but it doesn't really say, unfortunately. And then this, I don't know what this does. This I think is a stopper, but I could be mistaken. But then again, it doesn't tell me how to use it. I've seen other stoppers on sliders. I've never seen one that's like this. All right, so let me tilt back up here. Let me see if Yeah, nothing on the phone clamp here. So let me pivot up like this. Fix that. I'm shooting on a Joby Gorilla Pod, so cope with me, please. Okay, looks like we're good there. All right, so they sent me this. Not really sure what this is for. Something that obviously tilts, but I don't have anything else in the box that I see that's supposed to tilt. Let me check something else that's over there. Maybe that will. No, nothing else came in the packaging. So I can't really. I mean, I'm lost. I don't really know what to do here. I know that I can put a ball head on here, but what is this for? Maybe it has something to do with the phone mount. Anyway, let me mount the phone on the slider and let's see how it works. So you're gonna see some twisty action here. I'm gonna unscrew it from the plate. Okay, and then don't get too dizzy on me because I'm going to be putting it on the slider. All right, shut your eyes if you get dizzy. Give me 1 second here. Flipping it around. My kitchen is a mess, but we'll see what comes of it. Nice and tight here. Okay. All right. So let's flip the camera and I'll show you how it slides. So remember, I use 2 hands. I just went grocery shopping, so my kitchen's a little bit of a mess. All right, so slide. Oh, it is a GoPro mount. Good call. You're right. See, I don't own a GoPro, so I didn't know. You're absolutely right. It is definitely a GoPro mount. Now it makes sense. And I'm thinking, does it attach to my phone somehow? But it doesn't. So this is how smooth the slider works. Let me know what you guys think. It looks pretty clean. I'm liking the way this works. I'm looking at the playback right now. It looks pretty good. Now, bearings provide even smoother slides. I wouldn't say that this is my favorite type of slider, simply because it's not smooth enough to be used professionally. You can see there's a little bit of jitterness, a little bit of hesitation. That is because bearings aren't used, and bearings are a key and crucial part of a slider, in my opinion. And it also goes up and down like this, so you can't really press down on the carriage because the phone. Yeah, see, my Lang slider doesn't do that. I'm able to adjust the bearings and I'm able to adjust the stability of the carriage. But you know what? For traveling purposes, I feel like it does a great job of sliding. I mean, it is pretty smooth. I don't feel any bumps or scrapes on the slider. It's pretty clean. I just have to be careful not to press down on the carriage too much. So next question I have here is, can you mount it on a tripod? Yes, you definitely can. And I'll show you how in a second. So just take another quick look on how it slides. It looks like it does a pretty good job. I'm looking at the playback and it's flawless. Maybe I'm just a pretty bad critic, but it's actually doing a very nice job now. I'm getting used to how it behaves. Each slider behaves differently, so it's good to adjust. And I think I'm adjusting really well. I changed my hand placement on the carriage. So now I'm getting even better and smoother shots. And that's the other advantage of using a motorized slider, is the consistency of the speed is a big thing too. So it takes a lot of practice to do it by hand because you have to work on your consistency as well. You don't want to be slow in one part and fast in another part. You want it to be nice and smooth and consistent during the whole entire slide. I think for the most part I'm getting used to it. And you always want to use two hands. This will be the last slide, and then I'm going to mount the phone back onto the GorillaPod. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm going to lock up the carriage so it doesn't move, and I'm going to unscrew the phone here. So cope with me. It's going to be a little spinny, a little dizzy, but we'll do it. Okay, cope with me, cope with me. Almost there. Okay, cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we'll cover the tripod, and then we'll go to the Mavic Pro and answer some questions there, okay? And I just updated my Mavic Pro last night, by the way. There was a new update that came out. All right. Cool. Now my only issue is when going into the DJI Go app, I don't want to lose the live feed. That's something I'm kind of worried about. So if I do lose it, I need to go right back to this app, all right? But hopefully it still runs when I change applications, okay? Let me just tilt up like this. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so the question about the tripod. You're gonna like this. Yes, it can. You see those holes there? Those are all tripod mounting areas. 2 different sizes. You only need 1 tripod for a slider this size. You don't need 2 like the 48-inch slider does, but this is good for 1 tripod. And guys, that is it for the Coolertron slider. I'm going to be shooting a professionally shot review video with this over the weekend, so I can have another review video done for you by Monday. That way you will be able to see if you want this for Christmas or not. So it's about 50 bucks. Question is it worth it? I say it definitely is worth it. You just need to invest in a ball head. All right, so that way you can mount your camera and tilt and pan the way you want. Definitely need to invest in a ball head. A ball head, decent ball head, 10 bucks, 15 bucks on Amazon or eBay. So that's something you definitely should invest in when getting a slider. But yeah, it's definitely awesome. All right, let's bring out the Mavic. How does that sound? I hope that sounds good, right? Let's go bring out the Mavic. And then we will answer some more questions. All right. Give me 1 second, let me go grab it, and then we'll answer some more questions. So I have a Nanook case for my DJI Mavic Pro. I got kind of annoyed with the Fly More combo case that came with it, came with the Mavic. So my Mavic is now in this new case. Since I sold my DJI Osmo, I just moved my Mavic into this case. So let's have a look. I'm gonna tilt tilt the camera down so you guys see. You ordered yours on October 4th, right? Yeah. I ordered mine on September 28th, and I got it mid-November. Oh, there's the Mavic. I gotta work out the foam here better. This thing's moving around quite a bit, so. Here's the Mavic. Here's the remote. And 2 more batteries in here. I just updated it last night. Haven't flown it yet since the update. But you know what? Let's fly it inside. Let's fly it in the kitchen. That would be fun, right? You guys can see how it flies indoors. Okay. Alright, so change something here. Cool. Alright, so let me go back here. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. Everyone loves drones simply because it's technology. Everybody loves technology. I definitely agree that technology is my thing. I absolutely love it. All right. Okay. There we go. Change something here really quick on the broadcast to make sure that it's working well. Ba-da-bum-ba-dum-bum. All right, let's start at the remote. Cool. Remote controller's on. Mavic, it's your turn to turn on. Cool. All right, so I need to find a way to keep this broadcast rolling while I check some settings in the DJI Go app. My remote, however, says I'm ready to fly, but for you, Jin, I'm sorry, I want to make sure that the app works like it's supposed to, okay? So I'm not gonna exit the streaming app. I want to see if I just close it momentarily to see if it will mess with the broadcast. So if I lose you for 3 seconds, I apologize. Jin, I just won't be able to tell you because I won't be able to log into the DJI Go app. I need to keep the stream running. All right, so hopefully it won't do that. All right, let's see how it works here. My home internet went out, but my cell service is still working. AT&T, man. That's why I switched to T-Mobile. T-Mobile plug, right? I like T-Mobile more than AT&T by far. AT&T was never a big. I was never a big fan of AT&T. Look at all these issues I'm having with the internet. Wow. Yeah, it's not working. My internet. So let's do some indoor flight tests, and then we'll go into the DJI Go app, okay? I think that'll be a better result. All right, let's do some indoor flying, guys. Let's have some fun. All right. set the camera here. I hope it's wide enough. Now let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the Mavic does. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mount my camera on a chair. I think that would be smart. Sorry for the jitterness, guys. I'm just mounting this thing on a chair. Cope with me, cope with me. All right, let me fix that. Ah, that's beautiful. That's a good shot. Dead center. That's what we want, right? Good. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Sorry guys, I'm just checking something on my screen here. I want to make sure that things are working. The YouTube for some reason is not, it's not loading right. That's the issue with YouTube. Alright, you guys see the broadcast fine, right? This is in normal mode. This isn't tripod. Whoa! What was that? DJI, that's a glitch. Alright. Let's talk about that. Alright, let's talk about that. That was a little odd. That's not the first time it did that on me. So I noticed something. When using when in obstacle avoidance mode, right? And you're approaching an obstacle and you're trying to, let's say, bank right or bank left, it's not going to be responsive while you're close to an obstacle. Which is strange because I want to avoid the obstacle by going left or going right. And I'm holding the stick and I don't get a response from it for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then it just jerks to the right or jerks to the left. So that's some software firmware issue there. So that's something they got to work on. So that can cause some issues. So let's go back down here and let's keep flying. See that? It did it again. Now it's not doing it, but it did it before. Alright, so, alright, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly from outside to inside. I think that would be pretty cool. So let's go into the bigger room and then open up my doors and then fly from outside to inside. Let's set up the camera so you guys see. So basically I'm going to fly it out there from in here. I've done it a few times. It's pretty awesome. Let's see how I can mount the camera though. How can I mount the camera? Maybe like this? You guys are gonna be in a weird position for a sec, but I'll fix it right now. Cool. I think that works. That works, right guys? That should work. All right, I'm gonna go grab the Mavic. I'm gonna open up these doors back here. Mavic. I'm going to turn off the front avoidance sensors, obstacle avoidance sensors, that way it won't randomly stop. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't turn off the avoidance sensors. I can in sport mode though, but I'm not sure if I want to fly. I need my phone to turn it off. Damn. Oh man. I don't know if I want to fly it in sport mode from inside to outside. There we go. Okay. Alright, so it's outside now. I'm in sport mode. I'm just very gentle with the stick since I'm flying indoors. Let's have it come back inside. Very gentle with the sticks. Actually, I'm not sport mode. I think they did something to the firmware where they made the sensors less sensitive indoors. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly they did. Because now it's letting me fly indoors and outdoors in avoidance mode, obstacle avoidance mode. Yeah. They made the sensors less sensitive indoors. I think that's fantastic because now I feel I don't have to turn off the sensors anymore when I'm flying indoors to outdoors. I think that's a great improvement, DJI. Good job. See how wide my doors are? You see how wide they are? They're pretty wide, which is why I really didn't like the sensors stopping because of that. You know, the Mavic is a lot smaller than the width of the open doors, so I would like the sensors to still work with these doors open, and now they do with the new firmware update. So let's fly her back inside. She behaves a little funny when flying over water. She thinks it's uneven ground, so she will, I call her a she now, so she will compensate because she thinks that it's a different type of terrain. And so I noticed that it's a little funky over water, but it's okay. I am flying pretty close to the water. Exactly, they shortened it to 1 meter, which is about 3 feet. Way better than before. Now she's outside. Let's bring her back in. And it holds position very well. Holds position very, very well. That's the remote. That's what I see right now. Oh, I got close to hitting the ceiling on that one. My heart just sank. Full throttle up. I almost hit the ceiling. That was close. That was really close. I feel like they need to So this is what happened. I went full throttle up, and then I knew I was getting too close to the ceiling, so I instantly let go of the stick, but she still kept going up slightly. So that's something they can probably fix in a future firmware. Not that big of a deal, just never go full throttle up because that can cause you some pretty bad issues. But the Mavic does, it flies the same. It's just this, it's a little more convenient with its new firmware update. Now I can fly indoors to outdoors without having the sensors stop me for having kind of a narrow gap. Now I can fly indoors to outdoors easily without worrying about the sensor stopping the Mavic. So that way I don't have to turn off the sensors constantly. It's like magic. Mavic Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, give her a round of applause. Look at that. Now that's an impressive machine, right? That's an impressive machine. And you know what? She's pretty quiet too at idle. Pretty quiet. See that? A lot quieter than the Phantom or Inspire. And the props stopped pretty quickly too. And that reminds me of the unique Typhoon H, because the Typhoon H does the same thing when I stop the props. Stops immediately. So I kind of like that feature. It's kind of cool. All right, so let me shut it off. And I'll answer any last minute questions that you may have. All right, let's go back in the kitchen and have a little chat. All right, I'll bring the Mavic, don't worry, don't worry. This is one of my film cases here. That's the slider we unboxed earlier today. Okay, and I'll flip the camera around. Cool. Bring the Mavic right now. And we'll talk about the Mavic, because I know a lot of you are still deciding whether you want it or not. And I have both the Mavic and the Phantom 4. Mavic. Right here. I can't do anything app specific with the DJI Go app because I am using my phone for this broadcast. So I can't check any specific features, unfortunately. But I will definitely do some videos on it. Alright. Mavic Pro. She's cute, isn't she? I nicknamed her Noisy Cricket. Kind of makes sense, right? She makes a sound when she starts up like a cricket. And then her props make her noisy. So let's turn her off. The remote. I'm surprised the remote has its own heatsink. That's actually pretty impressive. Did not expect that. But yeah. That's the Mavic, you guys. And I almost took it up into my roof. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, don't go full throttle up because it will be kind of tough for it to stop. I mean, I let go of the stick and it was still slightly going up, so I got a little scared because this thing is it's not cheap. But I think, honestly, for most people, this will be the only drone you ever need. The only drone you will ever need. And I honestly say that. Does 4K, flies beautifully, flies in pretty strong winds. good flight time, almost half an hour flight time. So 3 batteries will definitely get you what you want. So will this be a good Christmas present? Heck yeah, it will. Heck yeah. So if you're getting it for Christmas, good idea. You're definitely going to be happy with it. There you go, guys. Mavic Pro. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'll stay on the stream for another 5 minutes, answer any more questions that you might have. With the Mavic Pro, it's really fun to fly. I mean, it's tiny. So what more could you want in a drone? I mean, it's safe to fly. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. A drone that's actually safe to fly. I'm not saying that about the Inspire. I'm saying that about the Mavic. Even it is the first. Well, the Phantom 4 was the first safe drone, but this is the second safe drone, and because of its size, I mean, dude, you cannot get a better drone than this. Even as a filmmaker, it does meet my standards. Picture quality is pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't shoot like a Sony a7R II or Sony a7S, but for little aerial clips that aren't too long, with a little bit of color correction, you know, noise removal, it will look great. I'm not gonna lie though, if you are a filmmaker and you take the footage off of here, you are going to have to edit the footage. I would not recommend using raw footage in your projects. You definitely have to do some picture color grading. You're gonna have to do some noise reduction. You're gonna have to do some sharpening. Definitely. The footage is not perfect, so you do have to do some editing. And it does allow you to manipulate the picture pretty well, so you can get some pretty decent images, really good images out of it. When it comes down to the Inspire 2, excuse me. When it comes down to the Inspire 2, to have a professional film kit on the Inspire 2 for what I want it for will be 10 grand. To have raw capabilities with the X5S camera to unlock the license for RAW. I mean, all that together is going to be around 10 grand. At least 10 grand. And for me right now, as a filmmaker, freelance filmmaker, I don't work for any production company. For me, the Inspire 2 is not the right choice. It's just too much money for what I need it for. And I'm looking at my Inspire 1, and I'm trying to look and see how many times I've used it for professional shoots. Like, it's tough. It's tough. You really have to make that call, you know, with the Inspire 2. I would not get the Inspire 2 unless you are ready to invest at least 10 G's. And in my opinion, if you have 10 G's to spend, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy the Inspire 2. I would rather buy the Matrice. I'd rather buy the Matrice with the Ronin M. Buy the Ronin M and put a Sony, or you can even fly a Red. But that's too expensive. We want to keep it under 10 grand, right? You can keep it under around 10 grand by putting a Sony camera on there, and you have a Matrice and a Ronin. And a Matrice has, in my opinion, it's safer than an Inspire 2, because if one motor fails, bye-bye Inspire 2. If a motor fails on the Matrice, it can still fly. And it's more, the Matrice is way more modular than the Inspire. So keep that in mind too. Keep that in mind. All right, so last minute questions, guys. I gotta get going. I gotta go ship some stuff. So let me know what you want to know. Any last minute questions for me? We need a Mavic convention and get 100 of them in the air. I agree, that would be pretty cool. Or just drones in general, drone convention with hundreds of drones in the air. If Amazon is serious about what they're saying about drone deliveries, we're gonna have that pretty soon. We're gonna have a lot of drones in the air soon, according to Amazon. So hopefully they're right. I would love to see drones flying by delivering packages. I think that's great. I think that's the next step in our evolution of technology. So, in my opinion, I just love drones, man. I love it. So if you have any questions about the Mavic before you buy it and invest your money for Christmas or for whatever reason, let me know, because I've got it in my hands right now. I can tell you what I know about it. I can let you know anything you need to know about it. But yeah, I'll give you guys another minute to gather your thoughts and ask me any questions you may have, and then I'll sign off. It's pretty cool. I don't think when it comes to Amazon and line of sight, it's not going to work. Amazon will still be able to get around that. They will. Don't worry about it. Will mean less space for hobby flyers. Maybe. I still don't understand how Amazon's going to pull that off. That's kind of an interesting topic to talk about. I mean, they're going to do it. I mean, within a couple of years, it's definitely going to happen. Obviously, they're going to have a lot of redundancy features, but I don't know when it comes to hobbyists. When it comes to hobbyists flying around, I don't know. Maybe there's going to be, obviously, there's probably going to be more restrictions. I don't know how that's going to work. That's a good point you brought up. How many flights do you get off one remote charge? I've gotten 3 batteries worth, which is all the batteries I have, and it remained at 30%. So I would say maybe about an hour and a half you can get out of the remote. Hour to hour and a half. Yeah, hour to hour and a half on the remote. A lot less than the Phantom 4 remotes or the Inspire 1 remotes. Obviously, because it's way smaller battery, but it has to do this. It has to have the same amount of power out of, you know, it has to have the same amount of power to do all its processing. How many flights do I get? I don't know how many flights. I don't count how many flights. I count how many minutes I'm in the air. That's what's important, not how many flights. All depends on the minutes. Who cares how many flights you do? It's all about the time. That's what people really care about. Because your flight can be 30 seconds for all you care. It's all about time. A lapel mic would be an improvement. Yeah, I know. I have a lapel mic, but I'm shooting on my iPhone right now. Yeah, trust me, I've shot with those before. But yeah, Mavic Pro, that's it. That's all I have with me right now. I do have the Phantom 4 and Inspire 1 as well. But this, for my friends, is my new favorite drone. My new favorite drone. And I also did a slider unboxing earlier today for you filmmakers that are watching, because sliders are important. I'm getting a mechanical slider later this week, and I'm going to be teaching you how to create I'm going to be teaching you how to create a time lapse with dynamic movement, side to side, tilt, pan, all that good stuff. So I can't wait for that stuff to come in. And you drone flyers will find it interesting too, because there's a lot of there's motors involved, there's a lot of engineering involved. It almost takes as much thought as building a drone. Drones have a little bit more, it takes a little more time to deal with a drone than with the slider. But the slider that I'm getting, it's unreal. You guys, you're gonna be so impressed with it. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna do a live unboxing of that, and I'm gonna do a professional review video of that slider. I'm going to do a professional review video of the Coolertron slider as well. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. The next 2 weeks are going to be very exciting, leading up to Christmas and the holiday season. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comment now. 30 seconds left and I'm shutting everything off. 30 seconds to ask any questions. And I'll be signing off. But I think we're good so far. I think I covered all the basics. We flew indoors, flew outdoors, and I think we're pretty happy with the overall result, right? Good. All right, guys. I'll see you in my next video, which will be very soon. Probably later on in the week, and then I'll have a new review video out Monday. Every Monday I got a new review video out, tutorial, so stay tuned for that. Check my channel, check my YouTube channel for tutorials on color correction, because color correction is everything. So check out my last few videos. They talk about color correction. I have a review video on the Mavic Pro as well, so check out that review. I have sample footage of the Mavic, so all of my content is available to you. All of the Mavic's content, most of the Mavic's content is available to you on my channel. So check it out, because you are going to learn a lot from those videos. All right, guys, stay warm. It is getting cold, and adios from Los Angeles, California. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace. Momentum Production.